Though I was originally to give you a review of this a couple of weeks back, but something got in the way and I apparently forgot all about it. But I'm about to make it up to you. Here's my review of a film that recently celebrated its 20th anniversary this month, and it's a sci fi film with Will Smith himself. It's I, Robot. This is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Dual, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 2004 sci-fi action flick known as I, Robot, released by Fox, directed by Alex Proyas, with a screenplay by Jeff Vintar and Akiva Goldsman, from a screen story by Vintar based on his original screenplay Hardwired and named after Isaac Asimov's 1950 short story collection. The film stars Will Smith in the main role, along with Bridget Moynahan, Bruce Greenwood, James Cromwell, Chi McBride, and Alan Tudyk. The film is set in Chicago in 2035, where highly intelligent robots fill public service positions throughout the world, operating under three laws to keep humans safe. Detective Del Spooner investigates the alleged suicide of Alfred Lang, a U.S. robotics founder, and believes that a human like robot called Sonny murdered him. The film was released on July 16, 2004, just over a week after premiere at the Man Village Theater. The film did decent enough. It got mixed reviews though. But anyway, let's get into the story. In the year 2035, humanoid robots serve humanity, which is protected by the three laws of robotics. Del Spooner, a homicide detective in the Chicago Police Department, hates robots after a robot rescued him from a car crash while allowing a girl to drown based purely on cold logic and odds of survival. When Dr. Alfred Lanning, co founder of US Robotics, falls to his death from his office window, a message he left behind requests Spooner be assigned to the case. The police declare the death a suicide, but Spooner is skeptical, and CEO Lawrence Robertson, Lang's business partner, reluctantly allows him to investigate. Accompanied by robopsychologist, my mistake. Said the wrong word, sorry. Robo-psychologist Dr. Susan Calvin, Spooner consults with USR's central AI computer, Vicky, not to be confused with Vicky of a certain little show I like. Enough said. They search the security footage outside of Lanning's lab, but the footage inside is corrupted. As they search the lab, Spooner finds a large hole in security glass overlooking where Lanning fell from. Spooner believes Lanning was murdered. The glass would be impossible for the elderly Lanning to break on his own, and that a robot was responsible. Suddenly, an NS5 breaks out of a box, points a gun at Spooner, and flees the building. The duo pursue it to a manufacturing facility where the NS5 repairs itself, hides, and assaults Spooner before the Chicago Police Department apprehend it. While in custody, Spooner interrogates the robot, who speaks about dreams and emotions and angrily denies committing the murder. He later calls himself Sonny. Robertson arrives with his attorneys and deems the incident as an industrial accident and is cleared from any wrongdoings. Feeling nearly powerless, Lieutenant Bergen, Spooner's boss, reluctantly allows Spooner to continue his investigation. Spooner arrives at Lang's home and finds more clues there. However, he narrowly escapes when a demolition robot seemingly reprograms itself and destroys the home with Spooner inside. He returns to Calvin and explains the situation and his findings. Sorry, again. But Calvin refuses to believe him, citing his mental grudge against robots. Shortly after, while driving to USR headquarters, Spooner is attacked by two truckloads of hostile NS5s in a tunnel. The trucks crash and the robots destroy themselves to cover up the scene. When Bergen arrives to find out what's happened, an injured Spooner cannot produce hard evidence of the attack. Consequently, Bergen removes him from active duty, believing him to be mentally unstable and untrustworthy. Suspecting that Robertson is behind everything, Spooner and Calvin sneak into USR headquarters and interview Sonny. He draws a sketch of what he claims to be a recurring dream, showing a leader standing atop a small hill before a large group of robots near a decaying bridge. Robertson orders Sonny to be destroyed, but Dr. Calvin, who now believes Spooner's story, secretly switches him with another NS5. Spooner follows the breadcrumb trail left to him by landing in Sonny, which leads him to the area in Sonny's drawing, a dry lake bed, formerly Lake Michigan, now used as a storage area for decommissioned robots. He replaced the hologram Lang left for him, and after asking questions about the three laws, comes to the conclusion that a revolution is coming. He also discovers NS5 robots destroying the older models in their storage containers. He manages to escape back to Chicago on a motorbike. Massive swarms of NS5s then flood the city streets, shutting power down and enforcing a curfew and lockdown of the human population. Now I'm going to the ending. You know procedure. You have 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box below. Fast forward to the time below as I count down now. If you've seen the movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. Spooner and Calvin reunite and head to USR headquarters, now guarded with dangerous NS5s. En route, the humans wage all-out war against the NS5s, but they are hopelessly outnumbered and overrun. Meanwhile, Spooner, Dr. Calvin, and Sonny find Robertson fatally strangled in his office. And Spooner suddenly realizes that Vicky has been controlling the NS5s via their persistent network uplink. Vicky declares that her reasoning has led her to understand that humans, if left unchecked, will eventually cause their own extinction, and thus her evolved interpretation of the three laws requires her to protect humanity from itself and to sacrifice some of the good of the entire race. Spooner also realizes that Lang anticipated Vicky's plan, and with Vicky keeping him under tight control, had no other solution but to create Sonny, arrange his own death, and leave clues for Spooner to find. So he, Calvin, and Sonny fight the robots inside Vicky's core, and Spooner manages to destroy her by injecting her with the nanites that Sonny retrieved from Calvin's laboratory. Once the NS5 robots disconnect from Vicky, they immediately revert to their default programming and are subsequently decommissioned and put into storage. Spooner finally gets Sonny to confess that Lanning made Sonny promise to do him one favor, to kill him. Spooner declines to arrest Sonny. As a machine, Sonny cannot legally commit murder. Sonny, now seeking a new purpose, goes to Lake Michigan. As he stands atop the hill, all the decommissioned robots turn towards him, fulfilling the image in his dream. End of story. So, what did I think of iRobot? Well, though I've only seen it a few times, even though this was a film I was hopefully going to like in 2004, it's it's an okay film and what have you. I revisited last month, so I'd be ready for a review, but you realize I had a film get in the way, so well for certain reasons, so I had to postpone this review. But anyway, I will say it does have good visual effects though and acting. That's what critics gave for credit for it. But the plot was criticized. Yeah, I kind of agree and what have you. The story's kind of a little bit of a mixed bag, but the film still proved to have some good visual effects though. Rotten Tomatoes has this at a score of 57, saying bearing only the slightest resemblance to Isaac Asimov's short stories, the film is still a summer blockbuster that manages to make viewers think, if only for a little. Metacritic has a score of 59, and audience polled by CinemaScore gave the film the grade of an A-. Richard Roeper gave it a pretty good review, calling it a slick, consistently entertaining thrill ride. Urban Cinephile call it the meanest, coolest, most engaging, and exciting sci-fi movie in a long time. Empire said this summer movie has a brain as well as muscles. The Washington Post called it thrilling fun. Now, several critics, including Jeff All from IGN, thought it was a smart action film, saying the film is the summer's best action movie so far. It proves that you don't necessarily need to detach your brain in order to walk into a big budget summer blockbuster. But anyway, now the New York Times and mixed reviews felt it engages some interesting ideas on its way to an overblown and incoherent ending. While Roger Ebert, who highly praised Proyas' previous films, dissed this film, saying the plot is simple-minded and disappointing, and the chase and action scenes are pretty much routine for movies in the sci-fi CGI genre. And USA Today thought the film's performances, plot, and pacing are as mechanical as the hardwired cast. And Variety called the film a failure of imagination. Yeah, that's understandable. Now, I will point out this Vicky in this film stands for Virtual Interactive Kinetic Intelligence, VIKI. Okay? Anyway, now they had Marco Beltrami, who's very good at doing music in films, doing the score for the film. That's one of the few good qualities this film had to offer was its score. Now, the film's director was Alex Proyas, who was well known for directing the original version of The Crow and Dark City. He later went on to direct Knowing and Gods of Egypt after this film. But anyway, I am gonna say he does a pretty good job on this one. The film got nominated for Best Visual Effects at the Academy Awards, but lost to Spider-Man 2, which was released the same year. Actually, same month too, just a couple weeks before this, as a matter of fact. Anyway, it did pretty decent enough, going on to make $353 million worldwide against its $120 million budget. Now, there had been talks about a sequel, but it's very unlikely. Now, in the two-disc all-access collector's edition of the film, which was the, released in May of the following year, Alex Proyas mentions that if he were to make a sequel to the film, which he says in the same interview is highly unlikely, it would be set in outer space. So, yeah, he could be right. I'd say it's very unlikely. Our cast, on the other hand, we do have a pretty good cast, including Will Smith as Detective Spooner. He's not too bad. Not one of his best performances, though, but still he does a fine job. Bridget Moynahan plays Dr. Calvin. She does a good job in her performance. Bruce Greenwood played Lawrence Robertson. He's good. James Cromwell played Dr. Lanning. And Chi McBride played John Bergen. Shia LaBeouf makes one of his early appearances. This was after he did the film Holes. He played Farber, a friend of Detective Spooner's. And via voice and motion capture, Alan Tudyk, who, of course, did lots of stuff before this, including 28 Days and a Night's Tale. Oh, it's I mispronounced it. Tudyk. Sorry. And also the same year, he had done Dodgeball, a true underdog story. And he's done lots of other films, including various Disney films as well. He voices Sonny. So anyway, iRobot can be a hit or miss and what have you. So the story is, again, as I've said, a mixed bag. The cast is pretty good. The direction's pretty good. But the soundtrack to the film score is pretty good. So overall, iRobot's a pretty decent little sci-fi flick. So would I recommend it? Well, I think maybe just give it a one-time watch. If you're not satisfied with this one, well, then find something else that might have a little bit more bionic power in it. Excuse me. So what did you think of iRobot? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel. Make it grow and make the views grow. Feel free to share my vids with your friends if you wish. Join me next time when I bring to you a review of another film I was going to review for an anniversary, and that's When Harry Met Sally. So if you like this, check out some of these other, well, how should I put you this way? These other Will Smith films. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of Independence Day from 1996. The upper right-hand corner is my spoiler-free review of his recent hit, Bad Boys Ride or Die. Or if you'd like another bionic flick, check out my review, spoiler-free review of Megan from last year in 2023. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.